question is to the Minister of Social Development and Employment. Does she stand by her statement that, quote, people do have a right to privacy, but they have, in my opinion, broken privacy deciding to go out there, put their names and faces to it, as well as photos in the paper? If not, why not?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, I stand by all my actions and statements on this to date.
The Honourable Annette King.
Supplementary question. Does she agree with the Privacy Commissioner's findings that there is sufficient substance in the complaint against her for releasing information about a sole parent for the matter to be referred to the Director of Human Rights Proceedings? If so, why?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, whether I agree or not is irrelevant. That is what the Privacy Commissioner has decided to do. That is a process we're now in, and it's one that I'm going to respect.
The Honourable Annette King.
Mr Speaker, what has been the cost to the taxpayer to date for a one-year-long investigation by the Privacy Commissioner into her alleged breach of privacy, and what further costs will be incurred in legal fees, Crown law advice, officials' time and possibly a payout if this matter continues unresolved, and will it be more than the $15,000 reportedly sought in compensation several months ago?
Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, I'm not aware of or responsible for any costs incurred by the Privacy Commissioner.
No, by you.
Question of the
Supplementary question.
Well, you've been around a while.
Question,
You know
Mr.
how to ask questions.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable Annette
Mr
King.
Speaker, I wasn't asking what the Privacy Commissioner's costs were. What cost has she incurred?
Order. I don't believe the member's question was quite that precise. I believe the Minister gave a perfectly fair answer to the question asked. The Honourable Annette King.
Supplementary question. Why does she not immediately apologise for her breach of the Privacy Act over a year ago, undertake not to commit such a breach in future, if only to minimise the mounting cost to taxpayers who will have to continue to pick up her bill for this matter that's now going before the Director of Proceedings?
Mr Speaker, I stand by all my actions to date.
The Honourable Annette
Mr Speaker, does she regret whipping up, to quote her, a horrific debate that has been very personalised and ugly against beneficiaries who dared to speak out against her cuts to the training incentive allowance that would have helped get them back into work? And why not stop the ugliness now by apologising, moving on and helping those women step up?
Mr Speaker, it seems to me that the opposition do not want to actually have a debate about welfare, and I would turn around and say that actually welfare is not a four-letter word. It's something we do need to address in this country. It is a debate that we're going to have, and I will be proud to lead it.
Point of order. A point of order has been called.
Mr Speaker, I didn't ask about what she thinks should happen in welfare reform. I mentioned what I quoted her, things that she said about a horrific debate that's been very personalised and ugly, and I asked her what would she do to get the people back to work, the people that had their training incentive allowance cut by her.
Order.
I'm quite happy to speak.
Order. There won't be debate while I'm considering this matter. I think, in fairness, the question asked, if I recollect correctly, was does the Minister regret something that led to something? Now, the Minister didn't really say anything that related to the question. She said instead what the government's priorities were around welfare. I think it would be helpful if the Minister were to try to answer the question. I realise there's no precise answer, but if the Minister could attempt to answer
Certainly,
the
Mr
question.
Speaker. What the member did also ask about was a training incentive allowance, and she made allegations that it was cut. It was not cut, Mr Speaker. What happened is that we've actually addressed that funding into those more than 50% on the DPB that actually have such poor literacy and numeracy skills that they don't even have NCEA level 2, and that's where we're addressing that money to, where it is absolutely needed the most.
Question number 3, Chris Ockenbold.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister.